And action. What are we doing, Boo?
We're doing the 5 keys.
The 5 keys to the kingdom of love, the kingdom of union, the kingdom of an extraordinary relationship that is expressing in its highest potential.
So, if you want to go beyond
Mediocrity.
basic
Sorry.
mediocrity, even good in relationship,
No, even great.
and you want to experience extraordinary, deep, holy fuck love, you have to go beyond repair and into creation.
Mm-hmm.
Into creation of what's possible in the union, into connection, into heart, into transparency, not just once a week or once a month or when things are messy, but
as a way of being. So this is what the 5 keys to the kingdom, a very simple but powerful. It's almost like a ritual.
it's a ritual.
It's a ritual.
It's a ritual. It's a prayer for your relationship.
Yes. And what sparked this actually is we were sitting having lunch in Tulum.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And you asked me a question. Do you remember what that question was?
I said, how can I serve you?
You said it more specifically. You said, how can I serve the
God in you?
Just want to take a minute to make a distinction here right quick. Those are 2 completely different questions potentially. When we think of serving another, serving him, serving her, serving our partner, there are dimensions of service. So what struck me in that question is you said, how can I serve the God in you?
Mm-hmm.
And then you extended that out on behalf of all of the feminine. How can we serve the God in him or her? And when we ask a question like that, when we become receptive to the answer to that question, that's what takes a relationship from good, great, or amazing to extraordinary and even what we would call miraculous. And that requires a different devotion, and it opens up a different invitation. And that's what we mean when we say this is beyond minimum requirements for even a great relationship. So with devotion and excitement, but also with honesty and humility, do not assume that you are already doing this or that you know the answer to these 5 questions.
Yes.
Which are the 5 keys to the kingdom that allow God in her, God in him, God in your partner, God to have a presence, a space, a priority in your relationship. That's where we move from our human potential in relationship to our divine potential. These are the keys. So, you want to just dive right into it?
Yeah. Yes.
Yes.
Let's do it. We're just going to do it together.
We're going to do it together.
Watch it and be with us in real time, because the most powerful transmission would actually be through the truth.
Yes. So we're going to do it and illuminate it and unpack it as we're doing it. All right. So, question number 1. I'm going to ask you. How is your heart? How's your heart, babe?
My heart feels tender, open, loving. Yeah, tender.
Tender. Beautiful. Thank you. Is there anything that your heart needs or welcomes that would nourish you?
Words of affirmation.
Words of affirmation? Oh, oh, I mean, first of all, look at you. You're so adorable.
Look at you.
No, look at you. No, look at you.
Okay.
I love your innocence and the purity of your heart's expression.
Mm.
I love your heart. And you're doing amazing out there in this thing called life.
Thanks, boo.
Yeah, you really are. You're crushing it at life.
Thank you.
Welcome.
How art thou, heart?
How art thou, heart? Well, first, I want to unpack some of this. So, two things that really makes this first key the heart. Not just understanding, but knowing and feeling how your significant other, your beloved, your partner's heart is a game changer, because just you having that awareness empowers you to support, to serve, to pour into the other person's heart. And it requires some honesty and humility to just keep it 100 here for a second. It takes effort. Do not assume that you know on a day-to-day basis how the person you love, what's going on in their heart of hearts, how are they feeling deep in the most intimate space inside themselves. So just being aware of that, or tuning into that, and making it a devotional practice, if you will, to ask, is such a powerful expression of love. And so we're exceptional at this, and we are very intentional about this. If you go a day, 2 days, 3 days, and you don't know what's going on inside your partner's heart of hearts, you're missing an opportunity. You're not a bad person. You're just missing an opportunity to hold them, to serve them. And this is a generalization, but with men especially, it is not the baseline default operating system to be like, how's my heart? Or to be aware of our heart and to be aware of the support that is being called for in the heart. It's not the norm. The masculine, especially the masculine mind, is about creation, about focusing, about problem solving, analyzing. It likes to be in action in that way. And so often what gets overlooked is just the heart. How are you feeling, without trying to fix, change, improve something? How's your heart?
Yeah, and this is important not only in the relationship to know that about your partner, but also it might be the first time in the day that you're even checking in with yourself and feeling like, wow, how is my heart?
Yes.
So for the one that's answering, it's deep presence. How am I actually feeling in my heart? Can I bring my breath, my awareness, all of my attention right into this place and really feel an answer from my heart?
Yes. And when communication is established here, meaning there's a presence there, when communication is established in the heart is the gateway to the spirit and to the infinite, the divine. And so if we want extraordinary, holy fuck, mind blowing, all of these aspects of relationship, you want more of that, then the heart is the connection point to the God inside. So that's the key number one, and make this a frequent practice. It doesn't take a lot of time. It's about depth and presence and actually caring.
And if you only have time for one key, this is the key.
Yes.
If you only have time, this is something we drop in multiple times a day before we do anything, this is the question that we ask in almost every conversation we have before we go to create, before we transition, if anything's happening. It's like, hey, how's your heart?
How's your heart? How are you feeling? How are you feeling in there? And one other key within the key is simplicity. The more emotional transparency, the more vulnerable you are with this, the more true you are to answering the question, the simpler it will be. Because then you're not answering from the content of your life. Like, just as an example, if you said, how's your heart? Just ask me,
how's your heart?
How's your heart? I just feel frustrated because everything I'm trying to do in my business right now with my website and hiring a new team, it just seems to be complicated. It's just not really working. You know what I mean? See, I'm emoting feeling, but from the story, from the content.
Yeah.
So the power in this
and
exercise,
I can't feel anything.
You can't feel anything, right? So don't confuse emotion with vulnerability. It's the vulnerability that takes your answer down to the bare essence, because it's not about how well you articulate how your heart is. It's about how deeply you're feeling your heart. So you could just be like, I just feel like,
yeah, let it be simple.
yes. Simplicity is a key that you're actually penetrating the heart. All right.
Number 2.
Could you sing that intro to number 2?
And number 2. And number 2.
I thought, you know why I asked you that? And it's probably related to your heart, is because I feel like you're containing your spirit a little bit, your voice.
Oh,
maybe
shit.
maybe because there's people outside, maybe there's people, something that makes it feel like you're like, number 2. What is number 2?
How's your spirit?
How's your spirit? How's your spirit?
Don't contain your spirit within the spirit of the question about the spirit.
Yes. That brings up a really good point. Your level of presence in asking the question is part of the power of the question. So it's not just how is your spirit. The point of this question, or should we, I'll answer the question first. Well, will you ask it
Yes.
again in a way that I can't
all
really,
the good stuff in real time.
You're getting all the good. See, now we're like priming the keys of the kingdom while we're teaching it. So when you said, how's your spirit? I could feel more the announcement, which I did ask you to announce it, than you asking me the question.
Okay.
All right.
How's your spirit?
What feels most alive inside me, or how my spirit feels right now, is like sassy, relaxed intensity with a flavor of like I want to get into something, you know what I mean? Like,
Feel that.
Like frisky. My spirit feels
Get into me.
Relax. It's like, you can get into me. You can get into this. I'm available. Yes. And yes.
I feel that. Yeah.
I would love to get into you. That's how my spirit feels.
I feel that.
Yeah. Get you some of that, girl. So you can tailor make this question to you, to your own unique expression. Essentially, we've tapped the heart, now we're tapping the spirit. This could be expressed and felt in many ways. It could be excitement. What are you excited about? What are you most inspired about in this moment? Where's your passion? But once again, it's not coming from the mind, it's coming through the heart and from the spirit. So this is where the energy is moving inside you, and you're starting to put your attention into like, that's how my spirit feels right now. Without the specific would be like, ooh, I'm inspired about XYZ. And that's fine too. I'm inspired about creating content today with you. I'm inspired about the creation of this video. That's a specific example. But that's the energy that you are eliciting from the question. And as the person answering it, it's tuning into your spirit and then sharing from the spirit. And the question asker, again, your presence and your genuine connection and curiosity in the question is your part in co-creating the answer to the question. So you can't fake the caring part. Right? Yeah. You got to really care, find your center of curiosity, presence that, and then ask the question. What's going on in your spirit? Oh, infinite one. Oh, wild one. How's your spirit?
My spirit feels all over the place.
Yeah. How does that feel to you though? See if you can encapsulate it.
My spirit feels excited about so many things at once. Yeah. There's like a lot alive right now. So my spirit's like, woo, 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 woo. Ah, creation, yay, love, woo. The 5 keys. Ah! Yeah, that's the way it feels inside me. I'm like, yeah, my spirit feels excited and full, like it's moving full speed.
Awesome. Another variation of this question is connected to the soul, and we use the term leading edge. Like, what is at the leading edge of your soul's evolution? Your soul's expression is one of your favorites?
Yeah.
All right, this is all still on question number 2. These are just different ways that you can access the same energy. It's like connection to one's soul and spirit and to source, the divine within. So what is at your leading edge would be like what is emerging. Like if you go all the way to the leading edge, what energy is alive there inside your spirit as it's that's coming into expression. So for me, the transformational entertainer is an energy. It's a swirl of energies, but it's something that's happening at my leading edge. God, life is bringing more of that energy through me, and I'm playing with it through my speaking, through my service, through creating of containers. These are expressions, but the quality of energy that's emerging, I just named it transformational entertainer. So it feels dynamic, it feels unpredictable, it feels mysterious, it feels like a symphony conducting. That's very alive in my spirit right now. What's one for you that's at the leading edge of your soul's evolution?
I feel my voice, singing, creation, artistry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, feels exciting. Feels like it's more exciting than it is scary now. So it feels like, oh, I'm excited to play with that.
Hello. Okay. Yes, good. How are you? Good. He's just gonna do the pool.
Yeah.
Nice. Are you still good here? Yeah. Okay. All right. And action. Are you still here?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm talking to the audience right now and you. So this might be obvious, but just reiterating, one of the reasons why this is a key to the kingdom of extraordinary relationship, is because if you are aware of and present to and present in, which is why you feeling this through your partner, from your partner, is so important. If you are aware, then you can tend to how that's activating you. Like, for example, when she says, I really want to sing, and she shares that with me, I feel the passion inside me. And logically, I am more equipped to support her specifically with her soul. And so the 5 keys really allow us this like full spectrum way of co-creating, loving, and serving, because we have more dimensions of information and awareness of what's going on inside of the other person.
Yeah.
So that lights me up that you want to sing more, and you see like
He's inviting it.
I'm inviting it. I'm inviting it. I'm nurturing it.
Because he knows that he's inviting it as much as possible in every moment. Which if he didn't know that, or we weren't talking about it, then he wouldn't be able to invite it.
Yeah. If I couldn't feel it alive in the field or alive in her, this is why this is such a practical exercise. It's like, just ask.
And it's like, this is where I think people, side note, in relationship, where people get stuck or stagnant in relationship, and they think that they've just grown apart or they've grown bored of each other and there's not enough spark. It's because they're not meeting the leading edge of the relationship together. And so if you don't know what the leading edge for yourself or your partners, and you're not bringing that out of each other, then you will feel like there's a dead energy in the field. But it's not always from the romance or the love. It's because you're not growing and expanding together through your own leading edge.
That's a huge point. When relationships stagnate or get stale, bland, or boring, or feel same Groundhog's Day, then one or both people is not up to speed with the leading edge of their evolution. So when that energy, when your spirit's like, it's go time, I'm already on chapter 4, you're still chilling on chapter 2. When that gap happens and widens between you and your spirit and the leading edge of what's being drawn through you, that energy has to go somewhere. And if it inverts and suppresses and represses and depresses, it will manifest as stagnancy, as same, as predictability. And quite honestly, it usually manifests as challenges, problems, drama. Sometimes the relationship drama is a side effect of one or both people not being up to speed with the leading edge of their soul's evolution. And this doesn't require, it just requires honesty. It requires you being present in your leading edge. And even if you're afraid, but you're vulnerable and honest, then that energy won't stagnate.
Yeah.
But if the fear turns into management and repression, or putting it on the back burner, that new course or that new expression that represents your soul's evolution, then that's when it becomes problematic. And that's when there's not as much intimacy, because part of the intimacy and connection in the field and relationship is the presence in the truth.
Yeah.
The truth of what's emerging. So this is the soul.
Yes.
Bless.
3.
All right. Number 3. We ready for number 3?
I think we're ready.
I think we're ready. All right. So the third key to the kingdom, this is a question, and asking the question and receiving the answer to the question empowers you to get into the kingdom. And that is, what is your deepest fear, or what are you most challenged by right now? This would be the thing that is lurking in the background or keeps you up at night. And again, it's not the story. It's not about the story. It's like, what is the thing that contains the most challenge? You might be like, well, I'm not really challenged, but really just feel deep down like it could be something small or it could be something big. Like, what are you most challenged by right now? And what empowers the other person to be able to love you and support you in that is how clearly you transmit the answer to the question. Bye. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You want to go first, or do you want me to?
You can go.
Okay.
Mean you're going to answer the question or ask it?
Answer, right?
Okay, well, we're gonna ask it.
Oh. Okay.
For the exercise.
Yeah.
Yes. So would you like to ask me the question first?
No, I want you to ask me.
Okay. What is your greatest challenge currently, in the foreground or in the background?
Hmm.
Where are you being challenged most right now?
I feel like one of my greatest challenges right now is trusting myself in my power
Mm,
all the way, full force. Like really holding it. You know, as I shared earlier, the ceiling becomes the floor.
mm,
Just holding my power all the way through, trusting myself. I feel like I've been continuously building trust again after a really long, deep death
mhm,
and feeling ungrounded in my system. So trusting in my power and holding the line.
mm. How does that feel to you when you're right at the moment of the trust initiation or moment, you know what I mean? Or it's like it's the moment, it's the hold line moment.
Mm-hmm.
How does that feel to you, or how do you experience that?
Right now, it feels like sensation of
Or can you give me an example?
yeah, I remember when I came home and I was like, I don't know if I'm the right person to help you with the pricing thing because I'm moving through something with that right now. And you were
Right.
like, no.
Oh, yeah.
You were like, no, hell no. No, that's done. That's old. Like, complete with that in the
Got it.
most loving way. I so appreciated that. And I feel like I need more of that in my life where it's like,
Mm,
no, bitch, remember who the fuck you are. You built $1 million business. You are first in your family to do this. You're a
mm,
powerful creator. And yes, aligned with God now just feels like this
mm,
owning, claiming, holding the line of power.
mm,
I feel like for a long time I was flipping in and out, and I feel like I'm holding it clearly, but I appreciate your help in moments like that where you might hear me be like, I don't know if I can, or I don't know if I'm the one, and
right.
for you to be like, no, I know you are.
Awesome.
Yeah.
A little commentary moment here. Since we're teaching the 5 keys to the kingdom, key number 3. One of the keys there, and I'm explaining this, but it's intuitive, is that the more I can feel what she's saying versus understand what she's saying. The understanding helps, but it's the feeling. And that's why I said, can you give me an example? I'm feeling her. I felt you from the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
But as you started expressing more, and then I asked for an example, I could just feel you more because essentially you want to feel what that challenge, that struggle, that moment feels like deep down. That's intimacy. Again, that's union. That's you coming into union with another. There's deep intimacy there. And the second thing I want to note is that I, in asking the question, the point is not to then jump in and go, oh, hey, here's some ideas that I have about that.
Mm-hmm.
That's really important too, because if you're really listening, you're probably going to be getting activated as well. Your heart will be activated and your spirit might be activated in terms of, ooh, the giving of what it is that is being called for, the
Mm-hmm.
support that's being called for. So really letting it breathe before you insert anything. The point is not to solve something with the answer to these questions. The point is to listen and to connect and to feel. And then from there, then you can you can pour into the answers to these questions.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's a really important point.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Are you ready for me to ask you?
Yes.
Okay. For the touch.
Yes. You hear?
Thanks. Mm. Mm. Baby boo.
Yes, baby boo.
Baby boo, what's your current biggest challenge in your life right now?
Hmm. Time.
Mm. Say more.
I feel most empowered in relationship to time when I'm not in time, meaning psychologically, which then manifests in my body. I can literally feel time like the future steps, things undone. When I feel that in my system, because I'm so, I guess, used to living in the timeless and being able to be in this world but not of this world, it's quite a contrast when I start accumulating the sensation of time in my mind and in my body,
Mm-hmm.
and then in my thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
It literally feels like, oh, 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 right? And so I would say that that summarizes my greatest challenge.
Mm-hmm.
And it just shows up in different ways,
Mm-hmm.
either on the challenge side of it or it shows up in the desire side of it, which would be like taking this energy of this non-linear timeless energy, the energy of play, and letting everything else be moved through that, created through that,
Mm-hmm.
which is really unity
Mm-hmm.
to me.
Mm-hmm.
So time, I would say, is my greatest challenge.
Thank you.
Yeah. I'm not one for thinking a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And thinking a lot, not constructive, creative thinking that's coming from the flow, but just like thought energy.
Mm-hmm.
It feels like such a stark like contrast in my being. And I respond to it with love and with, my
Mm-hmm.
spirit,
Mm-hmm.
which then pops me out of time. But I would say that's the greatest challenge.
Awesome.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
yes. Yes.
She's like, awesome.
Yes, it makes sense. And it's a
This is good little side note too. I'm asking because part of the completion of the exercise is the letting the other person know somehow that you understand but you feel them.
I feel you. Thanks for sharing.
You're welcome. All right. And number 4, keys to the kingdom. What is number 4, baby love?
How can I serve you?
Let's put that one on number 5.
Then the body.
Yes.
How's your body, boo? How's your body, boo? How's your body, boo? How's your booty, boo? Are you pooping, boo? Do you poop, boo? I know you do, boo. That's how you're so clear. 'Cause you always pooping, getting it out of the system.
Poopity poop. Poopity poop. Well, the poop is on the regular. Thank you for asking, by the way. Well, that's key number 4. Anchor that on down.
Right into the root. How's your body, my love?
My body's feeling pretty good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Feel that.
Yeah. I could probably use a little bit more water in my system.
Yep.
But overall, my body's feeling pretty good.
Drink more
Feels
water.
light, vibrant, alive. I feel strong, flexible. I feel good
You
about my
look
body.
good.
Well,
You
thank you.
looking good.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Boom, 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 boom. Thank you. This one's a very simple one, and again, it might be.
Like there's gonna be
She's-
some goats.
She's like, wait, a goat. This is important.
I don't know if it's the best idea for us to film outside because I'm like,
Well,
but it's fun.
well, we're here,
No,
and it's fun.
this is great.
Okay,
So,
Facas.
fuck a skull.
Facas. I was saying, this is a very simple one and can be very helpful for multiple reasons. Like, I feel very in touch with her moon, which she's on right now, as you can maybe see. Oh, you want to answer? You want to answer the question? How's your body?
I feel my body feels pretty damn good for how much I've been eating and how much I've been sleeping. And I also feel like I need some water. But we've been working out. I feel strong. I feel good. I am bleeding and feeling a little more tired and just like open, sensitive, kind of spacey than usual. So I just feel like I'm moving a little slower, have a little less of an attention span.
Slow rolling.
Slow rolling. I just need a little more patience and a little more chocolate. And we good.
Chocolate.
Any
Coming right
kind.
up. Any kind. Awesome. Thank you for sharing that. I definitely feel your body. I feel your body in my body.
I know.
So, yeah, this one's pretty simple. And it's key because we got to take care of these vessels. And
yeah, it's like he's saying he needs to drink more water. So I'm on it. I'm about to get some water after this. Make sure my man's hydrated, you know?
Yeah, and on the masculine feminine tip, like not understanding, being able to feel how to actually be with the feminine when they're on their moon. Like that's
oh my gosh.
That's golden.
It's everything.
That's a whole other series.
It's everything.
Yeah.
It's important for the man to know. It's also important for the woman to communicate.
Yes. Two-way street.
Yeah.
Yeah. It feels simple to me, and that's a good sign.
Yeah.
If it feels complex, it's in the mind, and the mind likes to play chess. Say this, don't say that. Oh, wait, tell me this. How do I do this? How do I do this? You can't keep up with the feminine in that way. And you definitely can't keep up with the feminine when they're on their moon in that way.
Yeah, when I'm about to bleed, I let Oren know. I'm like, I'm about to bleed. I need more space. I feel more irritable. That's what's up. And he'll be like, what's going on, boo? He can feel my energy starting to go like this instead of out. Because I'm like going into my cave. And so he's like, what's going on? I'm like, oh, I'm about to start bleeding. And if I get a little snappy or if I start acting a little cray, he knows.
Exactly.
And I don't get too cray.
No.
Just the right amount.
Yeah, and I have no problem with that. I think it's great. It's all welcome. So, all right.
Number 5.
Number 5. This is another simple but deeply impactful question that knowing the answer to this question empowers you to create more of an extraordinary relationship. And it is,
how may I serve you today?
all right, that's the question. And we're going to answer it. And then I want to unpack that and then we'll wrap this up.
Okay.
So, how may I be of service to you on this day, in this moment?
You can touch me. I need more touch. And You are being of service to me already through the way you're being with me. Use more of that.
Got it.
And just communicating with me when you feel I'm anchoring in the ceiling to the floor.
Nice.
Yeah, when you can feel those energetic shifts, I really appreciate your connection word points in that.
Beautiful. Got it.
Lots of touch and kisses.
You know, you can't say that. If you say that and I don't kiss her, then y'all gonna be watching, being like, "Girl wants, when you gonna kiss her? She wants some kisses. Give me those lips."
Okay.
And we're back. Shit works. See, this is our real life, by the way.
How can I serve you today, my love?
Water.
Water.
I am loving your oracular reflections of just the energies that are emerging in me.
Mm-hmm.
Your encouragement of that, your reflection of that, and yeah, receiving me in my expression.
Okay.
Thanks, boo.
Yeah.
Two things that are important here, again, is that if you're the one answering, that you feel what you're saying, and take a moment, especially if you are a heart-centered giver by nature, but you know you are expanding in the energy of receiving. You might actually have to use your presence and your will to answer the question. Even don't just be, "Oh, you're amazing. Oh, nothing, or I don't need anything." Like, if that feeling or thought comes up, just take a moment, because you're taking in the question, you're taking in the love and the invitation, and that's already where the expansion begins. And so, yeah, give yourself a moment or a few moments if you need to tap into beyond minimum. This is when we get into God, we get beyond mediocrity and beyond minimum. Minimum would be like, "Oh, I feel great. I don't need anything." Right? This goes beyond need. This goes beyond, "Oh, you can serve me when I can't serve myself." It's just, how can I be of service to you? How can I serve you? You can put it in your own words, but that's what you're looking for as the one answering the question and the one asking the question. How can I serve you? How can I be of service to you? It's a very present moment question. And that's the 5 keys to the kingdom.
You now have access.
Guaranteed, it will enhance your relationship, no matter how crappy or extraordinary your relationship is. It will enhance your relationship. And you want to weave this into this way of being. It doesn't always have to be all 5 keys, but just this attitude, this way of being, this receptivity, this devotion, ideally. And this is the value of practicing anything that becomes a habit, is then it becomes a baseline way of being. It's just how you operate, rather than an occasional special moment where you're like, or a catastrophic moment, you're like, "Ooh, I really need to like get in there and see deeper what's going on." We want this to become part of the relationship, the field of the way of operating within relationship. The consistency will have you be consistently available for the divine,
Mm.
for God to pour through, for extraordinary holy fuck to come through a lot more than potentially it is right now.
Yeah. You can do this in your relationship with your partner. That's what we created it for. And you can do this with your friends, with your family, if you want to create more intimacy with your team, with
Your community.
With your community. You can play with this as well. It's a powerful practice in any relationship and intimacy, building connection. I want to know you. I want to love you. I want to serve you. In doing that, you serve the collective.
And that's a wrap.
That's a wrap, baby.
Give me those lips.
You better kiss me good.
Keys to the kingdom. Girl, I'm world class. That's right. And we're out.
We love you.
We love you. Peace. With Saeed. She's everything right now.